Welcome back to the channel, and guess what? We've got a wildfire up there. Look at all that smoke. This is just me leaving my street, and up over that hill there's a big wildfire happening. You can see all that smoke. All that smoke is up there. All that smoke is being pushed that way. I think the news said level 3 evacuations for some people. So hopefully it's not going to come here and linger onto our house, because it's very possible. Very possible. Look at this. With that crazy wind, we've got insane heat, which is still like 90, almost 100 degrees. And then we got this stuff happening. Oh, it's further than I thought. Okay. Well, still not okay, but it's in the back, like way back there. But guess what? With the right amount of wind and sparks flying and everything like that, can come really anywhere. Today, pickup is in Spokane, some company I've never been to over all the years that I've been doing this. In the valley, Spokane Valley, and then it delivers to, gosh, where's the name of the town? Mukilteo, Washington, which is like a little bit northern part of up above Seattle. Delivery is Monday, today's Friday, so I'm picking this thing up, sitting with it, and then heading out Sunday night, Sunday evening, Sunday night, probably Sunday night. Man, we got fires all over the place. Another fire right there. Well, right there, it looks like right there, but it's not really right there, huh? Some business or something out there on fire, or a car. Might be just a house, but still, even if it's a house, it's still something on fire. Yeah, I think it's in the neighborhood over there. Probably a house on fire. Sucks. Okay. Shipping and receiving is right here. This is it somewhere. I'm gonna go check in, see what they got going out. I'm gonna strap it in and be on my way. Super easy. These guys knew exactly what I was picking up. Good. Nice to be working with a good broker who knows what's up. And freight is always ready. Because sometimes you show up and they're like, oh, I don't know what you're picking up. Or, oh, why did they send you here? It's not ready yet. It smells like smoke so bad over here. Ooh. Here's the freight. Strapped in, ready to go. 4 boxes on a pallet. Delivers Monday to Seattle. This pickup, I'm serious, couldn't get any easier. Sometimes you get to a pickup and it's like nobody knows who set this up, who's your contact, what are you picking up, you know, who sent you here, who are you with. You get like a million questions, and it's like, man, seriously guys, somebody at your business set this up. It's not a first come first serve type of load. It's, you know, usually time critical is time critical, you know. Something important, something, you know, something that needs to be picked up right away and delivered ASAP. That's what we pick up, and somehow nobody knows anything. So I don't know how all that works. Maybe because, you know, it was all set up somehow, some way, and then something all crumbled down, and, you know, wasn't happening anymore, and then all of a sudden you gotta expedite it. I'm not sure how this works. I've been doing it for 9 years, and every every time it seems to amaze me that nobody's on the same page about anything. So it's okay. As long as they pay us money, that's all that matters, really. In the end, that's all that matters. As long as you get to pick up and your freight is there and you get it loaded and you deliver it safely and you get it unloaded, that's when driver gets paid, that's when we get paid, then everything's all good. So in the end, that's really all that matters in the end. But man, we've got like 30, 35 mile an hour winds, 90, showing 93 because of the wind probably, you know, cools it down a little bit. But yesterday we were like at 106, 107. The other day was the same thing, really nice and warm, and that's causing real problems out here when it's that hot. The power lines, they say for some reason they can't handle it. Whatever they do, the amperage or the heat, or I don't know what the deal is. And then you add a little bit of wind to that, and then all of a sudden, you know, things fall in those power lines, they get overheated, and then, you know, things go crazy. So I don't know if it's like, if these power lines are not rated for that type of heat, or I don't know what the deal is, but every time we get that 100 degrees out here, we always have these fire issues and issues with the power lines and power outages and all kinds of things. I guess it's better to have it in the summertime than in the wintertime so people don't freeze to death. Diesel also climbed up, 509. We got over, like, I've seen it at 519 a gallon, quite a bit. Freight has really, I don't know, it didn't really pick up. Maybe the volume of it picked up, but the rates haven't picked up. I really don't know what to tell you guys. It's not, when sitting in the office and having people all over the place, it's hard to tell where and what has picked up. Really, I don't think anything's picked up. The only thing I think is maybe less people are doing this, and the people that thought that, you know, people were lying when they were saying things were slow, I think those kind of people are probably leaving or left, or, you know, I mean, we do, it's no secret, we do get those drivers as well that come on board and then all of a sudden it's not for them, so they leave, and I don't know what they do with that vehicle because they've put down payments, they've, you know, some of them bought them outright, and all of a sudden they figure out after, you know, either a couple of days or after a week or two that this job is not for them, and it breaks my heart to see money go to waste when people do that. I just wish people would do their homework a little more, you know, before they get into this, because you got to put all your pluses, all your minuses together and see if it's for you or not. You got to have more pluses than minuses in the end. If you got more minuses, definitely try to avoid this. But hey, you know, people say I talk negative all the time, and, you know, I'd rather people know the negativity than hide it or don't disclose it, and then people are going to be disappointed that nobody ever told them anything and they never heard anything about it anywhere. So I'd rather have it be a little more negative maybe, and people hearing about the bad things, than hearing way too much good and think that, you know, it's all roses and everything smells good, and, you know what I mean, everything's all great. It's not always the case. But don't get me wrong, this job has a lot of pluses. If you're the owner operator yourself, you pick and choose your, you know, your work schedule, when you want to work, when you don't want to work. You are driving in your own vehicle, which means you ain't got no partner, somebody stinky sitting next to you, some dude smoking and you don't smoke, or, you know, some other things, somebody taking off their boots, sticking their feet up on the dashboard and you smelling their socks half a day, you know, all those things. Sleeping with another smelly man in the vehicle because you're a team driver, because if you're a driver, then your owner could be putting a team driver in there, and it could be two of you, somebody you really don't want to be with, and all that kind of stuff. There's quite a bit of pluses as well when you're doing this by yourself. The main plus is work whenever you want to work on your own schedule, and then, you know, take as much time off as you want or as you can afford. Everybody's different, and everybody's income is different as well. I got a lot of people asking me, well, what can you make? What can you make? What's an average? If I do this and this, and, you know, what can I make? Listen, friend, if you've never done this before, really you don't know what you can handle, so you'll never know exactly what you can make, what you can't make, and what you can handle without actually going and trying it for a week, 2, a month, and seeing if you get homesick, seeing if your body lets you do this on a regular basis, and so on and so forth. So expediting is no joke. It's sit down and go, and you gotta go, and you gotta deliver either direct or first thing in the morning. And there's really a lot of times there's no sleep. Sometimes you get in accidents, as far as like accident traffic, road traffic, that kind of stuff. Wintertime, even worse, slow, bad weather, and you got to drive nonstop. As long as the roads are open, you drive. So that's our job. That's what we do. Firefighters, they go fight fires. They sit, they walk into the smoke. And, I've heard drivers saying, well, if it's snowing, I ain't going. Or if I feel the weather's bad, then, I'm just going to pull over and stop. Well, what that means is you're not getting paid for that load, because if the roads are open, we got to go. Even 5 miles an hour, we got to keep driving 5 miles an hour. Whatever it takes to get it there, that's our job. Just like everybody else. Firefighters, they do whatever it takes. Whatever their boss tells them, and whatever the chief tells them. So that's one of those things. You just got to do it. That's what we're doing. Just a little different part of the job, but still the same thing. In the end, it's still the same thing. A lot of police are actually heading that way. There's more. I was coming this way. There was tons and tons and tons of police vehicles heading towards the area where all the smoke is, where all the burning is. So those guys are probably going to be blocking off roads and evacuating people, because that smoke is no joke out there. And there's actually a lot of housing. A lot of people live out there. It sucks. We'll see. Maybe I'll throw up a drone in the air, as long as they're not flying and trying to put it out with helicopters, which I haven't heard helicopters or planes yet. So I don't know if they're not doing that, or if they're out doing something else and they're not available out here. It just really sucks. It breaks my heart to when people lose homes, lose all their valuables and everything else. It's a bad feeling. I've never had that happen to me or any of my family or family members, so I can speak personally for that. I can just only imagine if that happens. That's a crisis. Look at what this looks like within about an hour. This is how it looks now. This is insane. About an hour went by, that's all. Because it takes about 20-25 minutes for me to get out to where the pickup was. And look at this. Wow. I'll keep you guys updated. I don't know. I've got my sister-in-law who's showering already, and they're ready to do, I think they've got level 3 evacuation right now at their house even, so, geez Louise.
We're lucky. It doesn't smell here. Over there at the gas station, it smells so bad.
Look at the sky. That's insane looking.
I know. It's a lot colder over there in the shade compared to standing here in the sun.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Wow. Not good for the people that are being evacuated.
Maria is.
Yeah. Quick little update for you guys. Leaving Sunday night. It's like 9 p.m. and some of our roads are still blocked off. I don't know if you can see smoke. Probably can't. I know I gotta still tie the load down because we got evacuated, but we never left. So they told us level 3 evacuation, and we never ended up actually leaving, you know what I mean? Let's see, I'm trying to figure out the best way where I could put you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, maybe this way, no. Anyways, right here. I guess we'll do it like this. So I guess still got to strap the freight in. Basically, I had to, it was here, I had to move it all the way forward. I loaded up some of the basic things I thought we need, or I should keep if the house burns down, because literally the fire came within a half a mile from my house. So we were prepared for the worst. Had the motorhome all packed up with what we could do, you know, the basic clothes, the, you know, our, you know, paperwork, whatever we needed, you know, as far as like, you know, driver's licenses, passports, things like that, and you know, basic things that you could grab and throw in the car. And then we kept carrying, you know, like kids' clothes, our clothes, you know, things like that. So basically, fire went. They told everybody to leave. I didn't leave. My neighbor ended up not leaving either, which we didn't know until later. But then we had most of our neighbors, I think 99% of them are gone and probably still haven't returned, because we're still in a level 3. But the reason I moved this load is because, you know, I didn't want another insurance claim. I wasn't going to leave the van here and, you know, risk the fact of not having even a vehicle later on if I needed it like this. So fire would have come, the van would have been gone. So so far God blessed us and it went around us, but like I said, it's within half a mile, so you guys know, from my house. So it was really close, and we had all vehicles that, you know, we were going to drive out of there. 3 of them were pointing in the direction to get out of the driveway, just so you guys know that it was serious. It wasn't just, you know, nonsense, you know what I mean? It was definitely serious. So tying this up, and then I'm on my way. It's looking like the road, I-90 is still closed out here, so you got to go around through like Highway 2, through Davenport, Washington, and somehow it will take me out to I-90 supposedly, which is a pain in the butt. I don't know what kind of a detour that is. It's a detour. I didn't even look how much extra time it's going to add for me. It's already 9 o'clock, so I'm already pushing my like arrival time to about 2 a.m. or so, and I don't even know what else we're going to be dealing with on the road. So I would have left maybe a little bit earlier. My father-in-law decided to come visit us. He hasn't seen us in a while, so that's my explanation of why it's dark, why I'm leaving, and so on and so forth, and why I still got to strap the freight in, because wasn't gonna leave it to burn, guys. I don't know, maybe some people would, not me. Not worth it. So it's a weird area to like go anywhere, because I-90 is still closed, as you guys can see. No oncoming traffic on the other side. I don't know what you can see in the dark, not much, huh? And then this way nobody's going except for whoever's behind me coming from my exit, the Cheney exit itself. So this is a stretch of road for another 3 miles or 4 miles actually, that there's nobody here, you know what I mean? It's a weird area. Nobody's coming and going. I guess people will come on the freeway from this exit if they're coming from the right side of I-90, but the left side, they can't get on the freeway to go west. So this is eastbound I'm heading right now. Heading eastbound to go westbound, but through Highway 2. Hopefully that makes sense. Just talked to an officer who's got the exits blocked off at my place. He said maybe they're planning to maybe open it up at midnight, as far as going, you know, full blast now. But look to the right, or I'm sorry, look to the left, then you'll see a vehicle there. Pretty much every exit, starting from, I don't know what the number is, maybe 275-ish, 276. See that police there? Every exit has everything blocked off just because of nobody is allowed to go westbound on I-90 from here, all the way until the town of Sprague, which is like a 30 or maybe 35 mile stretch of the freeway is closed out there. Can you guys believe that? Crazy. Amazon's been closed all day, and then my father-in-law came to my house and said that there's vehicles there, not too many, but there are vehicles there. So I don't know what he saw. What does this mean? Nobody's here. People aren't working. That's just a few cars. Usually there's, you know, 500, 1,000 vehicles or whatever. Nothing. Maybe 50 cars at most, if even that. Maybe well, the trucks are still lined up. Look at the trucks. They're lined up from this way and from that way. So it affects everybody. All these trucks trying to get unloaded. Yeah, those guys are stuck too. This is not a good situation. But it is what it is. At least we're alive. You know, some people aren't so fortunate. They're saying around 200 houses are lost, but that's not even an accurate count yet. They're saying it's going to be a lot more than that when they start actually going out there and counting. But bad situation. Anyways, we'll chit chat tomorrow when it's all hopefully bright out. Made it on site, 2:30 a.m. Gonna sleep here, right in their parking lot. And then I'll see you guys in the morning when I'm unloading. Hopefully they can accept it even earlier. That way I can just turn around and go back home. We'll see. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. 7:47. Let's go check in. As you guys can see, it's even smoky in the mountains here. You can't see the mountains, but they're up there. They're there. I can barely see them. So, sucks out here too. The whole state of Washington sucks. Montana's smoky. Canada's burning. Everything's burning everywhere. If you look at the whole world map, more than half the world is on fire. Yeah, not a good time. Not a good time. I lost a ton of traffic time sitting in there on the 405 trying to get on I-90. So, insane amount of time. Probably lost a good hour at least. So now my ETA is 1:35, which I should probably still make up time and probably be there by 1, hopefully. That's if I-90 is actually open, because I don't know if it is. It still might be closed. We'll see. The smoke has not cleared up. It's been kind of the same, maybe a little better in some areas where the wind is coming from a different direction, but all in all, guys, the whole Washington state is suffering from this. It looks like it's fog, but trust me, this is not fog. That's smoke. That's basically you breathe this stuff and then you got that inside your mouth. It's hard to explain actually what it is, but I don't know. It burns, it makes you gargle, and I don't know. All kinds of weird things happen, but it's not healthy air to breathe. The other day was like 366. The air quality at our house was like 366. I think today, wife said it was like 177 supposed to be. So it's getting better at our house, but we're like right where that fire is at. So that fire was actively within half a mile to a mile from my house. So we're good. We were packed. We were ready to evacuate, even though we did get evacuated. Everybody was under level 3 evacuation at our house, at our place. All the neighbors left, except for, I didn't even know, but later on I noticed that my neighbor left and then came back. So basically he took his horses somewhere, or had his friends maybe take him, I'm not sure exactly, but anyways, they left, and then he came back, and then he stayed the whole time, and I saw him a few times the next day, and saw him at night when we went to go exploring to look at the fire at night on bicycles. Basically, it's weird when you don't have power for 24 hours. Your well does not work. Yes, then I plugged in my generator. The first night we didn't really need it because we didn't know if the fire's coming, if we're gonna have to leave, or any of that kind of stuff. So I didn't even bother with any of that. I put the generator in my van and left it there. In case I needed it, I would use it. Then the next morning I pulled it out of there, I hooked it up, so we could, you know, use coffee, plugged in all the fridges, you know, they were still good, the freezer and all that kind of stuff. So we had power, as far as like a little bit of power. Basically, you just take an extension cord and you make 2 male ends, and you plug one male end into your generator and the other one into an outlet in your place, and you're gonna have power. You're not gonna have AC because you need 220, unless you got a 220 volt generator, then that puts out 220, then you can do that. But anyways, that's just a little bit. I'm sure I'm speaking to people that know exactly how this is done and what to do, so I'm not going to be explaining how and what I did, but just so you guys know. I don't know what's up with my voice, either because it's the smoke or either because I got cold last night. I don't know. I think it was like 50 degrees. I was only under one blanket and I got cold, and I was too lazy to put the second one on. So I slept in shorts and a t-shirt, and I think it should have been more. And then at 7 o'clock I woke up and I was still super tired. Then basically I just went back to bed and didn't even really fall asleep. So I should have really gotten up at 7 and tried to unload right at 7. That didn't happen, but it's okay. I was too tired anyway. Still dealt with all the traffic, and traffic would have been a lot worse before that 8 a.m. rather than, like, you know, when I left at 8:10 or 8:15 is when I started hitting the freeway. So yeah, that's the update. Heading home. It's not even fun to fly the drone. Just wanted to show you guys the air, what it looks like, what the visibility is. So yeah, not that healthy. We've got some wind here. You can see those spinning. The other ones weren't spinning, so you guys see there's wind in some places and there isn't any wind in other places. So last year all this burned, this whole side. You can see that it's still dark in a lot of areas. So all of this burned up on that side. Didn't come to this side. But this Vantage area, this is Vantage, Washington, coming up to it. It's where that bridge is, where the Columbia River goes through here. So that, you can see that. And this area always burns. For some reason, I don't know if they start these fires, if it's campers, if it's, I don't know what it is, but something always burns out here. Every few years they got some crazy good wildfires here.